Shalom, call Haloyim Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rachak Wadash and Shanyikabad Kadwala Rakwab Zakwanyam Nawa Wa Shalayakim Nawa. That's the belongers to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Wabarak and Labakaryam Shaliasharala, and that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. I wanted to make a quick video concerning how the Lord works in mysterious ways. And that's even a phrase that you'll hear Christians say, but it's true. The Lord does work in mysterious ways, and oftentimes you'll find yourself in a situation where things don't work out the way you had planned or hoped, or sometimes things work out in just a different way that you didn't foresee happening. And then when all is said and done, you'll look back on the scenario, on the situation, and you'll have that moment where you're like, man, that's why the Lord had X, Y, and Z play out. Or, that's why ABC didn't play out. That's why it went this way. And it'll be always in your favor. Or it'll be for a bigger purpose, and you'll get that understanding. So the Lord does work in mysterious ways. We're not always going to understand his plans and the things that he has outlined for us. Our job is to remain faithful and know that these things are already written and that the Lord is ultimately on our side. And so I wanted to bring out this message, and hopefully this message is comforting to anybody that needs to hear it. I'm going to read two passages in the book of Genesis. The first one we're going to read in the 45th chapter concerning Joseph. Now, remember, just a very quick summary. Joseph's brothers were jealous of him because of his visions and dreams that he got. So they conspired together in order to basically get rid of him. So they stripped him of everything that he had, and they left him high and dry. Eventually, Joseph was sold to the Egyptians. When he was sold to the Egyptians, the Most High put him through certain things. Read the story. And he worked his way up to being basically the right-hand man to Pharaoh. Like the top dog, number 2 to Pharaoh. And so he was in a very, very, very highly esteemed role in the Egyptian empire. Now, there was a famine that was coming. And as a matter of fact, I'll stop there. Joseph knew about that famine through the Most High. So we're going to read Genesis 45, verse 1, and we're going to read down to verse 8. Verse 1 says, Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren, because his brethren had came up, because of course there was a famine in the land, right? And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard, and his brothers didn't know who he was. They couldn't tell that was Joseph. Verse 3, And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. So they're like confused, like, what? You're Joseph? They didn't get it. They were just like, I can't believe it, right? Verse 4, And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me hither. For the Most High did send me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And the Most High hath sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God, but the Most High. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. So at the time in which Joseph was sold to the Egyptians, when his brothers just deserted him and conspired to get rid of him, they didn't know why that happened. Joseph had no clue why that happened. But when his brothers eventually came to Egypt and he saw them, the Most High, through his Holy Spirit, made it known to Joseph. And it hit him right here at this point in time. This is why I was sold. This is why I went through this trial. This is why everything happened, and the Lord allowed me to climb up in the ranks in the Egyptian empire, so that I could preserve the lives of my brethren. He told him, don't be angry. Don't cry about it. It's okay. You didn't send me here. The Most High sent me here for his purpose and his will to be done. So the Lord definitely works in mysterious ways. Consider things that have happened in your own lives. Maybe things that you went through in the world, maybe things that you're going through right now. And I guarantee you'll be able to more than likely look back and say, okay, that's why that happened. And something good came out of it, either for you or a bigger situation just like this. The other one I want to read is in the book of Genesis, chapter 26. Let me see. It's 27. Now, the Most High could have easily just very plainly gave Jacob the blessing, the covenant, everything, right? Now, from the foundation of the world, it was always Jacob's, because the Most High doesn't make a mistake. Like, it didn't go to Esau and then things happen that we're about to read, and then Jacob just sporadically gets it because of natural circumstances. No, it was always planned for Jacob to have this blessing that he got. But the Lord made it happen in a very clever, and just like the title says, this Jacob's deception, it happened in a very deceptive way. So I want to read this story as another example to show that the Most High works in mysterious ways. Let's read about how Jacob got his blessing. Of course, we already know this, but I'm bringing it out just to make this point. We're going to start reading at verse 5. Genesis 27, verse 5. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. So Isaac, at this time, he was old in age. He's the father of Jacob and Esau. Isaac was blind. And he told Esau, look, go hunt, give me some venison, bring it back to me so that I can give you a blessing. Rebekah heard it and was like, nah, this blessing is supposed to go to my son Jacob, right? So verse 6 says, and Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. So Rebekah's like, look, I'll make it. Don't worry about it. I'll make it, right? And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah's mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her son. So his mother made the soup that bring me venison and make me savory meat. Her mother made that, right? The savory meat. Then also Rebekah took Esau's clothes and gave it to Jacob, right? That's 2. Let me see. Let's keep reading. Where am I? Verse 14 or 15, right? Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, put it on Jacob. Verse 16. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. So she put the hair of the goats upon Jacob to make it seem as if he's Esau. This is how the Most High was working in a very mysterious way. Verse 17, and she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob, right? And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. Now you know Jacob's probably nervous, right? And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy power brought it to me, in which in the spirit he actually did. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him. He said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau, because he felt the hair, right? And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And as you keep reading on, Jacob got the blessing. But it was always Jacob's from the foundation of the world. In the spirit, you have to understand, the Most High is always in control of everything. He knows what's happening. He sanctioned it. Every single thing on earth, he sanctioned. Unlike what they believed during the time of the Greek Empire, they believed in their gods like Zeus and Poseidon and so forth, so on and so forth. They believed that their gods didn't have any affairs in the lives of humans. That's what they believed. Now, one, those are fake gods, obviously. And two, concerning the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, they're in full control. They know everything. Everything is happening because of and according to their will. And we have to consider and remember this same narrative in our lives, especially during this walk in this ministry, as we know that we're living in a time in which Jacob's trouble is about to hit. All hell is about to break loose, and it's going to get uncomfortable. Things are going to get shaky. Brothers are already being tested heavily right now. Things are happening that are, it seems kind of off, seems weird. And we're wondering why so much is happening. But remember stories like this in order to remain faithful to the Lord, in order to show your integrity and think, you know what? The Most High works in mysterious ways. My job right now isn't to figure it out. My job is to remain faithful. That's it. And so I wanted to bring out those two stories. I had a few other precepts, just to, I'll bring them out. Why not? Because they're quick. They're quick ones that don't need much explaining. This is Job 36 and verse 26. Behold, God is great, and we know him not, neither can the number of his years be searched out. Boom. He's great. We know him not, meaning we can't search out his ways. This is Job 37, verse 23. It says, touching the Almighty, we cannot find him out. And don't try to. You're going to bug yourself out and you'll go crazy. Seriously. He is excellent in power and in judgment, and in plenty of justice he will not afflict. Men do therefore fear him. He respecteth not any that are wise of heart. So you can't search out the Most High. Our job isn't to do that. Our job is just to remain obedient and faithful. That's it. So call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.